Alright, I've just come to the conclusion that the universe does not want me to film, because as soon as I sat down to film this video, what happens but the fire alarm in my building decides to go off. So, hey YouTube. So I tried to film this video before and something about it was not feeling right, so I figured why not film in the same way that I did when I was ages 14 through 16, which was me sitting on my bed with my camera at a slight MySpace angle right in front of me and just going. So that's what I'm gonna do. So lately I've been seeing a lot about body confidence and body image in TV and music, movies, on YouTube, and I've also found myself having conversations about it with different friends. I didn't think that I should make a video on it because I felt like most of what I might say has already been said. In the past few years of my life, I've been feeling a lot better about my own body image and all that sort of stuff, but I think maybe the things that helped me are a bit unorthodox, I guess. So I figured I would share. To give a little background, I currently go to an art school, and enrolling into this school has required me to become very comfortable with the bodies of others very quickly. And what I mean by that is that I have mandatory life drawing and life painting classes that I have to do for approximately 6 hours a week. And when I was in my first year, it was really jarring going into these classes because typically when you start out, you don't do costume poses for quite a while. You start out with nude models. So when it comes to bodies, I have seen it all. Now usually when you think of model, you'll think of Kate Moss or Heidi Klum, but when you go to a life modeling class, the models are just normal people. And I love that about the classes because you get to draw and paint people of all different shapes and sizes and ages, and you stop seeing people's bodies for what they are as a whole, but instead you see them for their beautiful curves and the little nuances in their figure that makes them unique. And when you start seeing that beauty in other people down to the most vulnerable state they can be in, you start to see that beauty in yourself. And that sounds so cheesy, but it's true. I actually had a conversation a little while ago about this with my friend Katya, and she totally agreed with me on this entire thing, and she actually wrote a blog post on it, so I will link that down below. And yeah, maybe it's weird to say, no, it's totally weird to say that going to art school helped me with my self-confidence. Yep. Now while life drawing and life painting did help me, I don't think it magically cured me of all of my insecurities. There were a lot of things outside of it that I had to work on. I think part of the reason why I felt inspired to film this video was because of another video that I saw posted online recently by another YouTuber by the name of Jazza, also known as Rhyming with Oranges, who posted a video recently about his own body confidence. And in watching the video, I feel like I totally got where he was coming from. I think most people would get where he was coming from because I think everyone deals with their own insecurities about their body at some point or another in their life. But there were certain parts of his video, like when he talked about viewing the things that he was insecure about for their function in order to try and become more comfortable with those parts of himself, and how that didn't work for him. And I totally have tried that before and it did not work for me either, and in hindsight I don't think it should have. And my reasoning behind that is that I don't think your confidence should come from your functionality, because what if something stops functioning? What about people with physical disabilities? What about when you age? What about if you get sick? Are you no longer supposed to feel confident? I think the other thing that helped me most in all this body confidence stuff was changing the language that I used when I would talk about myself. I totally agree with Jazza on the bullshit that is the whole, all you need to do is learn to love your body and everything will be okay. In so many of these videos that really doesn't help very much, because it's not easy to just love parts of yourself that you're insecure about. It doesn't happen. I don't think anyone should use words like love or hate when they're talking about their body, because they are very powerful words when internalized. If you say that you love part of yourself but you don't really feel it, that can be just as damaging as saying that you hate part of yourself and internalizing that. I found that when I stopped trying to find different words to make myself okay with parts of myself that I was insecure about, and I just accepted what I had and thought, I'm going to accept this, things got a lot easier. And that's not to say that I don't have anything that I'm insecure about now, because I don't think that stuff ever really fully goes away for anyone, but I'm at a point where I'm at peace with myself, which I think is a really nice place to be. So hopefully this made sense. I've never really made topical videos like this before, so this is new territory for me, but hopefully this did some good. So if you're interested in taking a life drawing or life painting class, I totally encourage it. Anytime I talk to a friend who is feeling insecure about themselves, I always recommend it to them because I think it really helps. It's a really unique experience to have, and I think it takes a lot of courage to go to those classes sometimes, especially if you're not feeling super okay with yourself. You don't need to be an artist to go to any of those classes. You can be at whatever level that you're at. If you're self-conscious about going out into the world to do life drawing, there is a life drawing utility that I will link below if you want to try and do it in the safety of your own home. Granted, there's not a lot of diversity on that utility, but it would still give you an idea of what a class would be like. And worst case, if you feel totally uncomfortable drawing someone else, draw yourself. As Hannah Witten said in her body confidence video, just be naked more. Totally stand-up advice when it comes to being confident with your body. Snaps to that. If you're going to do that though, just try to draw what you actually see and not what you think you see, because those can be two very different things. And I know how hard that can be, but just give it a go, try it. What's the worst that can happen? You feel a bit uncomfortable and then you can leave or stop or whatever. What might work for me might not work for someone else, and that's totally okay. I'm gonna post some links in the description with articles and other videos on this topic that I think are really great. Aside from that, my battery is dying right now, so I'm just gonna say goodbye, and I hope you're all having a lovely day. Bye!
Better than caffeine, better than tangerines, make you be 14.
It's times like these that I'm really happy I don't have roommates, so I don't have to explain to anyone why I have a camera and a tripod and lights aiming at my bed. This is my life.